An introduction to Cube. What is a Magic the Gathering cube? Cube is a casual Magic the Gathering format where players create a cube, which is a large pool of cards chosen and assembled for the purposes of being drafted. Playing and drafting a cube is no different than a normal draft, except that instead of opening 3 packs of Magic cards, players pull 3 packs worth of Magic cards from the cube. Think of it this way. You get to design your own set of Magic the Gathering, exclusively for the purposes of being drafted. Now, you cannot create any new cards for this set, but rather, you have access to every card ever made. Your goal is to create the most optimal drafting experience ever. Which cards do you select to build your set, to build your cube? What is Cube? Many Magic the Gathering players often think a cube is simply a collection of the best cards in Magic from which to draft from. While this definition is correct in a sense, it is also very limited, no pun intended, and does not fully encapsulate what a cube is. A cube is not just a box of the very best cards ever. There must also be draft synergies and strategies between those cards. They must be selected with the utmost thought and care towards interactions and playability. Yes, a cube ideally strives to offer the best drafting experience possible, but it is a work of great engineering and calculation. When you make a cube, you are making your own Magic the Gathering set out of cards that you own from which to draft from. As such, a cube is not just a box of the best cards, but rather an intricately planned and engineered set. A cube is something that you constantly work on over time. As new sets come out, new cards must be considered and evaluated. History of Cube. The origins of Cube are a little murky, but back in the beginning, early players loved the ability to use and draft cards from throughout Magic's history. In addition to this, many players liked the idea of Cube as a budget to drafting. Instead of needing to purchase packs, for example, 24 packs for 8 players, a player could use cards they already owned to create their own packs of Magic the Gathering from which to draft. As Cube continued to spread, players built cubes with the idea of an amazing draft environment in mind. No jank, no duds, only the best, most powerful cards from throughout Magic's history from which to choose. Even today, new players to the format often find themselves shocked that their 13th pick is often still very relevant to the deck they are drafting. However, as Cube established itself and matured, cube builders began applying constraints to their cubes as a means of developing and diversifying the format. A typical constraint might be a powerless cube. In other words, a cube made up of the best cards in Magic except for the Power 9. Today, this diversity of constraints has led to everything from what is known as a pauper cube, a cube that tries to create the optimal draft environment using only common cards, to a set or block cube, which is a cube that tries to create the optimal draft environment from a particular set, such as an Innistrad cube. Building a cube is a great way to get some extra play value out of your favorite cards. The best aspect of it is how personalized it is. Every cube is different, and you can build the pool of cards you'll draft with however you choose. Where to cube? So where can you play cube? Since one cube can allow for upwards of 8, 12, or even 16 people to sit down and draft, it's not even something every player needs to have. Finding a fellow player with their own cube, who hopefully drafts from it regularly, is usually all you need to do. Your local game store might also have their own store cube, or they might be willing to build one, so be sure to ask and express your interest. If neither of these options are available to you, Magic Online allows for cube play. They even have several cubes to choose from, such as their Legacy Cube and their very popular but seasonal Holiday Cube. Finally, you can just build your own cube. Pauper cubes, since they only use common cards, can often be put together for less than $100. One of the best online resources for cube building is cubetutor.com, and I urge anyone interested in cube to go check this website out. With a cube, you and your friends can draft anytime. 3 a.m. and your card store is closed? Grab your cube, grab your friends, and draft it. Want to draft all weekend long without needing to buy a single pack of Magic? Cube. Imagine just spending $100 once and being able to draft endlessly from an optimal set. That's Cube. Are you interested in building your own cube? This video is just the first chapter in an extended study. For a how-to guide to building your very first cube, you can see our video here, as well as an advanced study in cube construction and upgrades here. If you'd like to see real people drafting and playing from a cube, check out some of the best independent gameplay footage at Milo the Gathering's Holiday Cube Draft here. And remember, the central hub of all things cube is cubetutor.com, and you can see their introductory video to using their site here. I hope this video has been of some help to you.